think we're good. All right. Hey, I don't think anybody's watching, but I'm going to go ahead and stream this and record it just because I'm trying to get better at that. So, welcome to the newly renamed The Way of the Lazy Coder live stream. It turns out that someone else started a lone coder live stream like about a month before I started mine. And when I went searching around, I couldn't find this person because they hadn't really posted very much yet, but they had bought a domain name and stuff. And so rather than try and fight over it, I would rather just rename mine stream. So The Way of the Lazy Coder is the new name for the stream, and at least for this week. So until I find someone else who's using that name. Anyway, so let's get going. If you've been tuning in, you know I'm working on the Infinite Whiteboard project, Draw. So let's go ahead into projects every time, Windows Y. And we will get into server. And I usually like to just start off by figuring out where I'm at with the project. So downloading some stuff. I'd actually worked on a little bit of my other accounts. I guess pulling some package dependencies in. And we'll get the browser up. Okay. All right, thank you for that. I figured out my panic problem, and it was really dumb in the end. It was just a logic error on my part, and I'll go over here in a second and show you how I dealt with it. But let's see. In the meanwhile, connection refused because is it not started yet? Or it is started, right? Well, let's see why it's not happy. Oh, because 8,000. All right. Okay, so go ahead and bring up our developer tools here. Got some WebSocket stuff going on. All right, very cool. So what I've done is to make things easier on myself, instead of sending an email every time when I want to log in, when I'm debugging locally, if I put a plus sign in front of my email address, it does not send an email, and I can just copy the login link from the console. So I hit the button, and then I come over here, and I get an error. Oh, let's see. I wonder why. Oh, because I didn't set up debugging, that's why. So it actually did try and send an email. You'll see here, yep, 535, not happy. Since I didn't set any password. So what I do is I'll set debug equals 1. Now let's try it. Let's go back over here. Cool. Every time it's kind of funny. It's like, okay, well, there's a prayer room, a pineapple, and bread. And here is my confirmation link. So this will be exciting. The last stream, I was having issues getting this to work. But so now pretend that I went to my email and I clicked on this link. I come back over here, and I am now authenticated. You'll see I got a session active message. And it may not look like much, but to do that, a lot of stuff happened on the server side. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through that code quickly. Well, not too quickly, but I'm just going to run through it real quick and show you what happened. So if you remember, this is the connection, right? This is when a WebSocket connection comes in. And if we're in debug mode, we initiate debugging. And then this handler uses a closure here, an anonymous function, to handle that socket connection. So what I do is I have these user and session objects. So basically, if user and session are nil, then that means the user's not authenticated yet, right? And the only thing you can really do when you're not authenticated is authenticate. So let's see. Also, I created a channel that accepts client messages. So what I'm going to do is, this is connected flag is actually used by the listener, by the client listener to disconnect. Whenever the client has an error or something we can't recover from, then we disconnect and we set the connected flag to false. We make sure to close our socket on exiting this anonymous function. Okay, so now I do another function here. I do a closure for sending messages, right? So client send just kind of deals with some of the rigmarole of marshalling the JSON and sending stuff on the socket and logging stuff and all that. If there's an error on the socket, it also disconnects, etc. So that client send closure is useful. And then here, I launch this go routine here to listen on the socket. So you notice there's an infinite loop, right? And it listens on the socket. And if there's an error, then we close that channel. So we'll get into the channel stuff here in a second, but when you close the channel, then if you're waiting on it, then immediately the select statement will return, that fork of the select statement will trigger, I think, or well, I don't know what you say about it, but it basically won't block. It'll stop blocking on that channel. And then we set connected to false so we can fall through, right? Could that be an issue? Yeah, see, concurrency is always a pain. It's like, so basically I think we want to set connected to false first and then close the channel, because there's probably a window there where it would come back in, it wouldn't know it was disconnected yet. So we'll see. This is the kind of subtle bug that you can get into when you start doing concurrency stuff. So it's tricky. Even a little bit of code can can hide a lot of errors that are really, really hard to find. All right, so what I do is then I instantiate a new client message. I unmarshal the client message I got in JSON, right? And then assuming that there was no error, then I send that client message to the main listener go routine using this channel, using the client end channel. Now, here's the outer loop while we're connected. While we're connected and there's no session, meaning we're not logged in yet, right? We'll read the client message because that's all we can listen to right now. We're not going to have any server events until you're logged in. You're not going to receive notifications about other stuff happening in the system. All you got to do is log in, right? And then if it's a login message, we do the initiate login stuff. If there was an error, then we send back a login error and we continue. So we basically will wrap back around and let them try again. But if there's no error, then we go ahead and we say session created, and that's what triggers this UI, what we saw over here. This, well, whenever I click on this, that's what this UI comes from, is from receiving that session created, right? Now, let's see. I was in the middle of working on this, so we'll probably be working on this today. What we're doing, resume session. You'll see that in a second, because I don't want to have to keep logging in all the time. Sorry. So yeah, but when you're not logged in, you can either log in. I'm going to create this new message called resume session, or you can log out, which is essentially a no-op. If you log out, nothing happens. Otherwise, it warns of an unknown message. So the way this thing works is there are basically two nested loops inside this outer loop, right? Wait, sorry, let's go routine. This outer loop, there are two nested loops. The first loop is run when you're not authenticated, and then once you are authenticated and you have a valid user in session, then we drop into the authenticated loop, and this runs until you're not authenticated anymore. So for example, if you log out, I just clear the user in session, right? And I send a message back to the client saying you're inactive, and then we jump back to the top, and all you can do is log in. So I think someone was asking me the other week about how do you handle security and stuff like that on this WebSocket connection? Well, that's how. So basically the WebSocket knows whether you're currently authenticated or not. And if you're not currently authenticated, you simply don't have access to anything except for authentication, right? And then down here, once you're authenticated, then you have access to all these other, you'll have these other messages to do things like create entities and stuff like that. But you'll notice here, instead of simply listening on one channel like this, I can just block on the client channel and wait for a client message. But down here I have to use a select statement, because not only can I be notified by the client, I can also be notified by other parts of the server. So the way this works with that authentication link, I got that link over here, right? When I click that link, it actually comes in on a RESTful endpoint, right? So we come over here, there's this confirm login handler, and it gets the secret that was in the URL, right? Hope you saw this URL. The secret is the last component of this path, right? And then we call confirm session, which is a function on the what's in the user module, right? Yep, confirm session, right? And assuming that that session hasn't been confirmed before, we get it, and then we set the confirmation timestamp, all this other stuff. We put it into the confirmed, into the current sessions or map, actually. It's a sync map. And then we write a server event. So this is what's going on. So now, when you have a valid session object, you can not only be woken up by the client, but you can also be woken up by server events. So now all of a sudden you're going to get a server event saying, message session's confirmed. So now I'll send the client a message saying, hey, your session's active. And that's how this client over here knew it was time to show the actual UI. So now we're finally completely logged in, ready to do stuff. But I am going to go ahead and finish implementing that, what's it called? What did I call it? Resume session message. Because I want to be able to basically, whenever you bring your browser up, if you've recently logged in, I don't want you to have to click the button and click the link and do all that stuff every single time. So what I did on the client was I store the session key in local storage, and then whenever the browser starts up, it's going to see, hey, do you have a session in? Yeah, you have a session key, and if you do, then we'll go ahead and try and resume it. So, all right, let's see. All right. And I'm going to use that remember me flag kind of to drive some of this stuff. Like if you don't say remember me right, then I don't want to store C. So, okay, so init session. So we store the session ID, right? Okay, there we go. And then okay, so this is all in the submit handler. I think we don't want to store that session key if remember me is false. So I think I'll make a new function to check that. I wonder, it's kind of slightly cheesy, but I might do it anyway just because it's not a big deal. Because what I can do is, where is my index page? All right. I can just do this, I guess. I mean, that's kind of verbose, but it's all right. Well, let's see. Yeah, are we going to have another object called remember me? Probably not. Good enough. So what we can do is go over here now and say, all right, so right over here, if remember me dot checked, then we'll store this. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, so if remember me wasn't checked, then we're not going to store the session key. Like if you go to somebody else's browser, I know you normally, if you'd be smart, you'd probably use anonymous browsing, but if you just don't click the remember me button, we're not going to store that. So let's see. Now, okay. Now what I want to do is figure out where I want to check this logic. So the way it works right now is basically the default state of the index page has the login overlay displayed already. But what I want to do is add some initialization code so that if we have a session key and we're okay to remember me is okay. So let's see here. Okay, I think this is right around here somewhere. Okay, so this is in the init site. Okay, so right here in init site. Okay, so this is where all this is going on. So local storage.email, that means we have an email address, and remember me is okay. Then, additionally, if storage.session ID, then we can send a message to the server telling us to resume a session. So if we do that, I think we should switch to the wait. Let's see. So, the trick with all these things is keeping track of the states of things. So it's like, in this case, like the initial state is really, unauthenticated, right? So if I were to draw this little thing out, you initially start up in unauthenticated, and you're seeing the login box. But if I try and resume the session, I'm waiting for the server to tell me something. I don't want them to log in again because that would be awkward. So I think we'll take them to the wait state. But then the trick is, of course, you don't want to hang out in the wait state forever. So we'll have to make the server either give us one of two messages, either yes or no. Either say either we'll move into the session active message or session inactive message, I guess, because I think those are the two. Basically, the two messages I define from the server to the client are session active, which means, hey, your session's good, you're logged in, you can do everything, or session inactive, which means you're not. And so that would take us back to login. So let's see. The question is, how do I know what I'm pending, what I'm doing right then, right? So let's see. Actually, I might not have to do much of anything. I just take it to the waiting view and maybe okay. Because it's kind of a state machine. You guys are familiar with state machines, right? So I'll move us into the waiting view, and then I think that it will follow the normal path. Like if you click login and then you click the confirmation link, you'll get a session active message, and it'll take you to the correct screen. You'll see the UI, and you'll be able to actively do stuff. Or if it fails, it's going to take you back to login. So I think that'll be okay. So here in init site, am I in the right place here? Wait a minute. Okay, right here. So we got to send a message. I think I got to create a new method for that down on the view, because the view is handling all this communication stuff right now. So I have login user, logout user, right? Resume session. Okay. So yeah, now we got to send a message. We got to send email. Is that right? Never quite sure whether I should make uppercase ID or not, but anyway. Okay, so now let's go find logout user. Same session. Okay. Same session. Okay. Now, so what this did was basically create a stub on each instance of the class to call the static resume session function. Now, if that all worked correctly, go back over here, and we should have gotten a. I think the cool thing is all those fields are already defined in the client message, right? Pardon me, yes. Oh, but it's called a session underscore ID. All right, so we better do that. Okay. Session ID is like that. Yeah, this is a big gripe. I'm going to have to straighten this out one of these days. It's like the whole idea that you just have to keep translating these names up and down for no apparent reason. It's just like, because there's naming conventions in golang where it's title case, and then there's the snake case going on here for JSON. Anyway, whatever. It's just kind of annoying. It'd be nice just to pick one and then stick with it. Okay. Now, back over here to this. So now we do have the session key, so we have everything. And all right. Now this was where, okay, so now here's the cool thing. So we haven't stored these sessions yet anywhere. So if the server is still running, I guess we can resume this session. like until we shut down the server. But the next step was going to be starting to store the user object in Mongo and do things. That's what I was kind of working on the other day. But let's go ahead and see if we can resume this session without actually having to save stuff off yet. So that will go into here, I guess, right? So we have confirm session, new session, confirm session, and we'll make a resume session, I guess. Resume session. Is that right? Or, I wonder if we actually want to do that. Is there actually anything to do to resume? We actually just want to get the session. So what we want to do is get the session and confirm that the email address matches the user ID and all that stuff. So it would be like just get session. Is that all it is for real? Maybe. Get session. Session ID. Okay. So sessions, right? Okay, so in the sync map, what do we need to do? Just load, I think, right? Gotta go look at the reference for that. I should type that in there, boom. Sync map. Functions. That's not the right one, is it? It's package sync, right? Map and sync. Yeah, there we go. Load. Let's see. Yeah, so it's that easy. It's really, I mean, I guess the reason this exists, that you can basically, it's kind of weird, but it returns a tuple, right? It returns the found value or nil if it's not present. If you want to have a map for some reason, you want to store nils in the map, that will tell you, if you've stored the nil value in the map or not. Not sure why you'd want to do it, but I'm guessing it comes up or they wouldn't have built it that way. So let's see. The question is, what do we do? I'm just going to return nil. It's like, I'm not going to have nil sessions. So basically, equals load session ID, right? Sessions, right? Is that right? Am I crazy here? Oh yeah, because I got to do type. I got to do type conversion. All right, let's see here. Wait, what? Yeah, I know. Come on. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, right, because, yeah. Okay. All right. I might be running into problems too. I don't think I'm dealing with pointers and value copying stuff correctly. Like I think I should just do pointers for everything, honestly. let's see here. So now, I think I might be okay. Is that right? Now it'll either work or it'll core dump. We'll find out pretty soon, huh? All right, so back over here, resume session. So we'll say right, and let's see here. So if we don't have a session, then it's tough. Otherwise, we'll send the old session active message. All right. Now let's see how that goes down. Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought. I was going to jack things up. Okay, back on line 91. Right. Okay, so let's see here what we got. New session. Returns session. Okay, let's see. So session. That's already a pointer. Right. Okay, yeah. So I do need to copy, so I need to dereference here. And then I need to do that there. All right. Now, yeah. I feel like it should have tried to, yeah, where's my logic to actually resume? Let's see here. Oh, did I add the logic to resume a session? Oops, I forgot to do that. Let's see. So it goes right in here in init site, right? Now we do this. Main view, right? Resume session. And what does it take? It takes email and then, does it take email and session? Yeah, email and session ID, right? All right. Now let's see if we get in there. Let's find. Okay. Okay. Now let's run through this whole thing and see the flow. Maybe I didn't save it yet. Okay, so here's my confirmation. Boom, grab that. Internal server. Bummer. All right, what did I do? Yep, core dump. All right, let's see where I went wrong. Interface conversion. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. My refactor caused me some problems. Routine. Yeah, it's these panics are a pain to read. All right, let's see here. Okay, user user.go 46 confirm session. Okay, let's see about that. Let's go look at okay, wait. It's on user.go line 46. 46. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes. Confirm session. Okay, so we got a session key. Yes, that's what's going on here. So that's got to be a pointer to the session. Now, where else did I go wrong? Let's see. Store. Okay, that's fine and fine. Okay, very cool. All right. And let's do it again. Box snake thing. Let's see here. Oh, come on. All right. And what happened over here? So that all logged in fine. Now what happens when I want to check my resume session logic? Oh, it didn't even get in there. Okay. Why didn't it store my session ID? Okay, let's see here. Come on, man. Okay, if remember me checked. Okay. Try it again. Yep. Cocktails plus medals. Alright. Okay, so this is the one I want. Now, remember me? Yep. Let's see. Okay, that's true. Well then, alright, so what's going on? Session ID. Oh, session ID is undefined. Well, why is that? Alright, well, let's go back up a level and see what's going on. Oh, is it because message? What the heck? Alright, hold on. Session ID. Oh, okay, capital S. Everything's tricky. Let's see here. Alright, let's do some normalization too, because I got to decide, you know, I can't have it being session ID with a capital ID in one place, and then session underscore ID in another place, and all that. So, let's get rid of that panic. Don't need that anymore. Let's go back over to, let's see. Now my tabs are getting a little bit busy here, huh? Let's go back over in here. Yeah, I've really got to make up my mind. Okay, I'm gonna roll with this like this then. And this is what's wrong up here. Let's fix this one. Okay. Now let's find it over here. Okay. Must be in here. Okay. Now, if that all worked correctly. Okay. Try it again. Dog time. Oh, let's put it up here. Okay, now let's see. That's fine, I guess. Meanwhile, okay, so over here, the question is, did it get saved or not? I have a viewer, maybe. It's pretty funny. I'm the opposite of most streamers. I'm trying to avoid all my viewers. It's like I never let them know when it's coming. It's like that's just what they be expecting. All right. Right. Session key. Is it in local storage? Session ID. Not in there. Damn it. All right. All right. Let's see. Why isn't it going where it belongs? Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted. So one more time. Let's try this bad boy again. And play folder basketball guy. How can I get a breakpoint in there? Okay, cool. That did work. Meanwhile, over here, did I get a breakpoint? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Damn it again. Let's see. Oh, I know why. Duh. Okay, so it should be, well, it should be lowercase s. Yes, okay, so let's find that. Session active. All right. Lowercase s. Okay. Refresh everything. Log in again. Use the key again. Let's see here. All right. And this thing. Let's go. And we got what? Okay, so now the question is, did it work when I restart? This time, will it resume session? Everybody gets errors, man. Everybody gets errors. Oh yeah, it's like everybody gets errors. All right, let's see here. So why isn't it? It should really be doing what I want to do. Let's see here. So yeah, all right. Okay. Well, we are kind of getting to the right neighborhood now. So local storage and session ID. All right. Okay. Yeah. So did it go to the server? Did I get a message over here? I love latency human. Oh yeah, what'd you get today? What kind of error did you get? Sorry about the 20-second lag conversation. I'm looking at the Discord chat, by the way. If you're interested, hop in Discord. One of these days I'll figure out how to get a scroll or something on the screen so you can find my Discord server. In the meanwhile, just if you look in the video description, there should be a link to join Discord. Now, let's see. So, is this? And so I'm sending this. So let's go ahead and step in. See what's going on. Yep, so I'm sending the resume session message. And then hopefully over here, I should start logging those messages too, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to do that. MongoDB threw an error about trying to write an invalid ID value in the route I'm working on. It's nothing but a render call on it. Doesn't even touch the route to the DB. Interesting. Interesting. Middleware, maybe? Could be a middleware problem. That kind of stuff happens. All right, let's see. Did I get a message? Are we connected yet? Oh, we should be connected. Are we not connected? Oh, is that the problem? That's what's going on here, I think. Wait. All right. Did my logic work correctly? Maybe. Okay, yeah, we got a resume session message. Okay, cool. And oh, well, it's kind of working the way it's supposed to work, but there's still a bug. Let's see. MVL, which one's that? That's a TLA that I don't remember. Something view layer, whatever. Yeah, the problem with most frameworks is they're always doing way more for you than you are aware of or maybe even want. So it's like the problem is, you know, then these kind of problems come up and you're like, what do I do now? There's some magic occurring. That's why I spend so much time. That's why I love using open source stuff, because I can at least go look at the code and figure out what it is actually doing. So, method view controller? Oh, I was thinking model view controller. Okay, model view controller, method view controller, same probably, I guess. Yeah. Ideally, I should save you from that stuff. But, yeah. Let's see. Every framework. Like, but you were using Node, right? We're using Node with, what was it? Can't remember. Node and, the one that starts with an E. Like, Node, EJS, yeah, that's what I thought. Express, maybe, let's see, sorry. My wife is texting me. Yeah, Node Express Mongos. Yeah. Alright. Whatever the hell's going on, it's dumb. Exactly. That's what we say. Just like with what's going on with me. Why is this working this way? Let's see. So, let's step back and look at my logic, see where I went wrong somewhere. So what's supposed to happen is, okay, so once you've clicked that link the first time, I store the session key in local storage. And essentially, at that point, the session key is basically like a password. So the next time the browser starts up, it's going to try and resume the session without having to go through all this rigmarole and send another email and all that stuff. So it's getting to the point where it's sending the session key back to the server. The server's getting the session key, as we can see right here, and the email address. But when I try and get the session, it's not there. So my logic over here must be flawed. So when I do confirm session, sessions store, session ID, right? Okay, well, that checks out. Yep, and then I do that. So what the heck? I mean, there's either, now there's only a couple possibilities. It's like, well, why is it load and delete? I think they call that, okay, so this is a sync map. This is actually a thread safe map. And I think they use that terminology to make it super clear that it's not just setting and getting or whatever. It's like that there's a different operation going on in the background. You'll see that, for example, I use this, there's actually store and load, right? There's actually load and delete, for example. So that's like an atomic operation. So what it says is look up the thing in the map that I gave you and take it out if it's there. And then if that way you can basically atomically grab it, and then you don't have to worry about thread safe issues, whatever. Sorry about that. It's kind of a funny thing. Actually, I have this rock sitting on my desk, and it's like it's hard to describe. Maybe I'll just show the rock. If anybody wants to see the rock. Get my webcam on. Is the webcam on? I switched to Streamlabs today, and I have no idea how to use it apparently. Whoa, there I am. All right. And that's me. Whoop, you can see me. But I was talking about the rock. So see this thing? It's sitting in this ring that my best friend from when I was a kid, he made me this ring out of a quarter or something, right? And then I got this like kind of a lingam or whatever they call it. It's like a egg-shaped religious rock thing. And it sits here, but it doesn't sit here very securely. So randomly through the day, occasionally it just like bloop, does that. And at first it was kind of annoying, but after a while they just get kind of used to it. It's like a good way to just kind of break you out of your monotony. You're like, oh, wait, hold on. Let's stand up or get some water or do something like that. So anyway. A little thing there. But let's go back to coding. There we go. All right. Yeah, you got like my little Squid Games, little Squid Games diorama too. All right, let's see. The rubber ducky. Yeah, I don't have a duck. I just have some Squid Games characters. All right, let's see. So now let's talk about this. So we got this confirm session. What it essentially does is moves a session object from the list of unconfirmed sessions to the list of confirmed sessions, right? And that is working. I know that for sure. Oh, you didn't see it. Well, I'll try it again then. Hold on. Let's see. Go back to the source. Let's see if this works. Okay. Ta-da. Yeah, see the rock. See the Squid Games characters. One day I got lucky at the mall and they had the Squid Game characters in like one of those little machines. It's like with the little plastic bubbles and you get stuff out of them. And I swear I saw it one day and I bought those 3 and it took me a while to get all 3 of them. And I've never seen that machine again. It's like some kind of weird, mystery machine, some kind of like a movie or something. It existed. I saw it one time. Never saw it again. All right. Now let's see. So there's only a couple possibilities here. Like either A, the session's not in the session store, but it should be. And I can verify that, I guess. Or B, somehow the session key. Am I doing something weird with the session key? Is it getting corrupted or something? I mean, let's verify. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Twilight Zone of toys. It's like over here. It's kind of a big thing in the malls, right? You go and have like 15 machines with just random anime characters and stuff. And the kids love them. Just kids, not for adults like me, but kids love them. All right, let's see. How to debug this? I mean, it really does look like, yeah, that session key looks legit to me. I could just dump out that map. It's not very big. Right now, it should only have one thing in it. So let's go ahead in there and just dump out the map. All right. All right. Okay. Now let's run through this whole sequence. All right. I'm going to log in. Surfing, kayaking, and love. That's what it's all about. We'll let this browser continue. All right. Don't care about that anymore, I think. All right. And okay, yeah, that's kind of working. Meanwhile, over here. Okay, so now look at local storage. Check. Yeah, it's in local storage. It's not on the client side. Now it's a server side problem, pretty sure. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that. Like, okay, so here I'm dumping the sessions. Text value, read-only map interface. Yeah, but am I seeing a value? Yeah, there's a value sync entry right there. So is that the one? Yeah, 992. That's the one. It's in there. So now when I refresh, boom, what happens? Session active. Oh, cool. Well, that did work. All right, cool. All right. So before it was saying session inactive, now it's saying session active. Cool. I love it when debugging, adding debugging output. That's not what it was. I think maybe something was out of sync. Maybe I restarted the server and forgot. Something like that. Exactly. Maybe it's a dirty map. All right. So now session active. So why didn't my session active handler get me into this? Let's see. So let's see. Was it? I think it's session confirmed. Oh wait. Let's go look at session confirmed over here. Session active. All right, yeah, well, session active should have handled that, right? Let's just go over here and take a look. Okay, yep. See, this logic should be the one that actually shows everything, right? So, yep, so we restored our session key, which is fine. Oh, login pending view. Ha ha ha. I'm crazy. That's why. Okay, so I kind of worried about this yesterday when I was working on this. I wasn't working on it on the stream, but session active, or init session, I really just need to deactivate all these elements. I'll just make a new call called deactivate children. How about that? Because I just need to deactivate all these overlays. Deactivate. Deactivate children. And then what is the parent? Root. Good old root. Yep. All right. There we go. I wonder if I can do something goofy, just like main view. How about activate main view? That'll work. How about that? Yeah, I'm using my custom framework. That's true. Yep, I'm doing that again. Guilty. All right, boom. See now, okay, boom. See, I hit refresh and magic. We're logged in. So the cool thing about that is, yeah, Now, as long as I'm in the right context, is it going to work on everything or just that one? Yeah, boom. There we are. I don't have a logout button yet to prove that I can log out, but it exists. Okay. So I guess now, I may as well look into the session stuff too, because what I want to do is I need to start persisting the user object so that I'll have the sessions stored. Like if the server goes down and comes back up, I can restore sessions and things like that. So let's go ahead and work on that. Because I need to get, basically it's a good way to ease into the Mongo side of things on the server side. I got to get Mongo stuff in line. So anyway, but I'm pretty pleased about that. You might have missed the first part of the stream where I was talking about some of the, was that a panic? What kind of panic did I get there, man? I hate panics, man. Let's see what's going on with that. Where was the panic? Oh, is it a TCP panic of some sort? Invalid memory address or nil pointer. Line 88. Let's go look at line 88. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I know why. All right. I believe, yeah, I bet what happened was I refreshed the browser. And what I was telling you before, okay, so when I refresh the browser, that throws an error in here. I close the client channel. I need to deal with a possible null message in here. And so there's a null message in here. There could also be a null message in here, I think. So let's see. Let's see. Can I say close? I think I can check and see if it's closed. Okay, wait, hold on. Before I fix it, this is always a good idea whenever you find a bug like this. I think I know what is causing it, but let's go ahead and test my theory. If I can reproduce it, that's the secret with anything, is if you can reproduce the bug, then you can fix it. So let's go ahead and log in. Come on. All right, we're logged in. Now let's see. Yep, we resumed the session. Now we're logged in. Okay. So, my hypothesis was, well, let's see. So, if I refresh the browser right now, I bet I get a panic, don't I? No, no panic. But, what if I try this? Let's see. I like that. Okay. Now if I refresh, what happens? Yes, I did get... did I get a panic? I thought I got a panic. Oh, no. No panic. Weird. What if I just close the browser? Yes, got the panic. Okay, so what's going on here is the browser's going away. So the WebSocket's closing, so it's closing this channel. And so that's giving it a nil message here, and that's causing this problem. So we can check to see if the channel's closed, we'll just exit. Nah. Okay, actually, then screw it. We'll just look for a nil pointer. So, or nil, yeah. Client message is nil. We're out of here. I think we can just abort because there's nothing going on, right? Yep. All right. Client message is nil. Abort. think we got to do the same thing down here. If client message is nil, abort. Yep. All right. So now let's verify that it's fixed. Okay, now before, when I closed this browser, I got a panic, but now, no panic. Nice. Okay, cool. Now, back to the original schedule problem. The original schedule problem was, I totally know the answer to this. We're going to start saving stuff to Mongo. That's what we're going to do. So let's close that off. Don't need to save that. Now, I had started playing with this earlier. Yeah, I created a DB module, I think, didn't I? Yeah, you'll see this. And yeah, once again, this is kind of a hack, but I stand by it. It's like basically, I like having things kind of auto-initialize. I don't like having to do explicit initialization calls in a lot of my code. I like each module to initialize itself, but sometimes there are dependencies. Like almost everything depends on configuration, right? And then beyond that, what you want to do is kind of have things initialized in order of dependency. Like templates depend on nothing except configuration, pretty much. I don't even think there is a configuration dependency. I just put it after config because in general you want your config to initialize before everything else. And then the database, though, on the other hand, also depends on configuration, right? And let's grab it about here. Okay, it's unused. That's fine. Right. So actually, apparently, I think I've been connecting to Mongo, which is great. But you basically want to initialize these things in order. So the trick is in Golang. Yeah, Golang stuff. It's tricky. It's a little tricky. Golang is it's kind of C-like in a way, but it gets into concurrent programming. So concurrent programming takes a little bit of time to wrap your head around because things are happening at the same time. that makes life challenging because values can change out from under you and stuff like that. So, but in this particular case, okay, we're initializing the database. I think I might actually already be connecting to Mongo. Let's get Robo up and see if I actually have a connection. Yeah, I don't have a database for it yet. That's something else. So we'll close that out. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to have to load the Mongo client stuff back into RAM because I forgot all about it. So let's go find the docs. Whoop. Where's my browser window? Let's see. Yeah, Compass annoys me, man. I tried it for a while, but it just got on my nerves. Yeah, maybe I should, but it would just piss me off, I think. All right, let's see. Connecting, we're good with that. All right, so if you're familiar with Mongo at all, you know you got collections, and then in collections you got documents. I was still wrestling a little bit with how I want to handle structuring that, how to structure collections in this thing. Okay, so you know the types of entities I got to deal with. Let's switch back to our advanced design tools. Hold on, let me get the advanced design tools up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and there. Can we see it? Okay. Now, so we have user objects, right? And then users are one-to-many with sessions, right? So we got session objects. Now we have, what do I call them? I call them items. We have item objects. Okay. And an item, is basically anything. It's like a SVG file or a node or anything that occurs in the world, right? Now the next bit is, though, the question is world. Is there one world, or can there be multiple worlds? Now, obviously, there's multiple items in each world. I still hadn't fully decided whether everybody lives in the same world at all times or whether we could have private worlds. I'd like to leave the door open for private worlds if it comes to that, but at the moment, I'm leaning toward just one global world where everything lives because of simplicity, and plus, where's the fun in having your own private world? You can't see other people's stuff. So, of course, on the flip side, then you can't have griefers and whatever. So, things we need to track are users, sessions, items, and then possibly worlds. So, a logical breakdown would be if a world was a collection, then all the items for that belong to that world would live in that collection. I think we need to put this in its own collection. I think it needs to be auth, right? So there's an authentication collection. And then, or not even just auth, maybe we'll just call it like, admin or something like that. Admin. The admin collection. And then for now, I guess I'll just have one world collection. I'll put everything in there. And maybe down the road, I'll come up with a better way to, or not a better way, but a way to have private worlds. Like I was considering at one point, you could do something like, we got Umdra, you could have my world. Umdra, and I could put that as a separate collection, and then you could have your own items and everything. But for now, I think I'm going to go with just one collection. Don't get it. First, make it work. One of my axioms of software development: first, make it work, then make it great. So let's make it work, then we'll make it great. So, all right. Yeah, organizing DBs. And the trick with NoSQL, too, is you really have to have a good idea in advance what your use cases are going to be, because if you screw up, refactoring later is a nightmare. Like trying to restructure your database and denormalize or normalize whichever direction you need to go. It's, you got these huge data loads to deal with, so it sucks. NoSQL is great as long as you do it right the first time. But if you don't do it right the first time, it becomes troublesome. So let me see. Get my advanced design tools out of the way. Okay. So next thing I was going to do is figure out what level I want to make the this database API at. So right now, if it's working correctly, as soon as the program comes up, we have a connection to Mongo. So we need to get collections for people. Let's see here. Yeah, and there's a little bit of complexity to deal with contexts. So you can use contexts to do timeouts and things like that. For example, pardon me. Contexts are pretty advanced. Contexts are a way to basically you pass channels down to calls you're making, and you can set a timeout so that it's kind of a race between the call you made and the timeout. And whichever one returns first kind of tells you what happened. Like if you get a timeout event before the call completes, the call didn't complete. But the trick with that is also you're not 100% sure it'll never complete. so I don't know. It's always kind of a double-edged sword. It's like my theory is, things will fail at times, but as much as possible, just make it so that they fail safe and you don't have to worry about it too much. It's like if you spend a ton of time planning around, oh, what if it takes 10 seconds to insert this document? It's like, well, maybe you should spend more time just making your inserts happen faster, so that never happens or whatever. All right. So, So I'm not going to stress myself too much about the context stuff at the moment. And authentication? Nah. What I tend to do with Mongo is just basically make it only listen on the local server so that I don't have to really deal with authentication. I only connect to it from my local on the 127.0.0.1 IP, then it's not a big deal. Basically, if someone compromises your server, they're going to get access to your MongoDB, but that'll probably happen anyway. All right, so let's see. Let's go take a look at some write operations. What do you say? The classic insert a document. Okay, so insert one. Yeah, so now mostly it's using bson d to do all this insertion stuff, but there is a way to marshal a document, I think, from a struct, and that's what I'm really looking for here. But let's see. Oh, the users can only access the database through the server, like through the Golang server. You cannot access Mongo directly. And that's just a general, that's a pretty decent design practice. I mean, a few applications I've done in the past, I've allowed users to get to Mongo, sort of. But even then, you have to do it through like a reverse proxy or something, so you can keep them from getting full access and doing bad stuff. For the most part, you always need to have a gatekeeper in front of your MongoDB. So in this case, the MongoDB is just used as a backing store by the server. So I swear, man, I saw you could like marshal things here. Let's skim. We're skimming right now. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, so maybe we can make some progress using these. Database collections. Yeah, they're doing collections, right? So we got to get a database. All right. Yep. Insert many. Well, that looks really easy. I'm loving that. All right, so I think we're in the right neighborhood now. Let's go over here. So after we've loaded the database, we need a couple collections. So what we're going to do is auth collection and okay. Now the trick is, let's see. Let's just make it user collection. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll do it that way for now. See how that goes. Mongo client. Wait, first I gotta get the database, so let's see here. Mongo database. All right, so from the client, we gotta do database. Oop. Draw. All right. Equals collection users. Keep it simple, stupid. Now my question is, if I do all that, I don't think until I write something, I don't think it actually creates anything though. Oh, I keep forgetting that I'm not in Python or JavaScript. You actually have to use double quotes everywhere. All right. All right. Did it actually do anything? I don't know for sure. No, probably not until I write something. Okay. So let's get to the point where we're writing something. So next step, we've got these collections, maybe. What's it scrape now? Unused. What do you mean unused? It's totally used. I'm using it right there. Okay. So now we're back in here. So user. So the trick with the sessions is, okay, so sessions don't actually get saved on their own. Sessions are actually stored in an array in the user object. So to update sessions, we just got to save the user. So what I need to do is create a function, a user function to save. So let's see here. Where to put it? User from email. That's like a global method there. New session for user. Take session slot, session ID. Save. All right. So now, let's see. First of all, need to do some BSON stuff, I guess. This is going to take a while. How do I want to do that? Oh, that's actually the session object, not the user object. Where is the user object? Right here's the user object. So all I really need to do, I think, is make this the ID. I'm going to use the email. The email is the ID essentially. So the syntax is, yeah, like that kind of. Okay. ID, I'll make it empty. Okay. Well, actually, that's not an issue. What happens if I just do this? Minimal case here. All right. So now, we got to write a doc. Let's see. So it's actually insert many. Okay, and we do need a context because we don't have a context. So we need to pass in a context object. Gotta remember how contexts work. Just trying to remember what the type is for context. What's the convention? CTX or something like that? That. Okay. So, yep, save's going to accept a context. Now, I just need a collection to insert one, right? Let's insert one. So, user call dot insert one u. Wait. And what does it return? Insert result and error. Okay. Now the question is, what's in the results? What does it return? It returns an ID, I guess, but The idea I already know, right? Let's see. Well, let's just try this out and see what happens. So, the question is, when do we save? So we save. All right. When we initiate login, maybe. So initiate login. We try and get the user from email. We get a new session for the user. We get all this stuff together. We get the URLs. We send the email. Okay, and then I think we save here. So user.save, probably here, right? If error saving user, and then return nil. All right. Is that right? Yeah. All right, so this is kind of primitive. Oh, we got to get a context in there too, though. So we do have a context. Does that work? Is that the same kind of context? Not like that. It's so funny. Okay, so apparently the echo context, although it's called a context, is not a context, not like a golang context. So text.background. All right. Later on, maybe we'll get fancy and make it into a better context, but not today. Okay, so we'll save this off. We'll see what happens. Nope, missing return on 119. Why? What? What's going on there? Oh, it's complaining about that, I guess. Not really a missing return. It was really another error. Okay, so and did we get anything over here? We got errors. We got what? I was supposed to save, but it did not save, I think. Puzzling. Let's see here. Let's make sure it actually is being called, all that stuff. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, okay, well, this code did execute, so we have collections and stuff, I guess. So when we're saving, what is going on? What is my URL? Let's see here. MongoDB, yep, draw, that makes sense. Do I have to create the database before I do that? Well, it shouldn't have to, but let's see. Refresh everything. Login confirmation, etc., etc. I mean, first question, of course, is the code being called? Make sure that's the deal. Now let's see. What's all that? Oh, it's just, yeah, problem is I'm seeing all these web logs, which is not something I'm very interested in, but let's see. Got a logout message, got a login message. It's like that save, it's like my user save's not being called. Why is that? Login confirmation. Oh, is it because, oh, I wonder, I know why, I'm a dummy. Okay, so, my debug hack here, basically it skips the send email code, so it's also skipping the save logic here as well. So, so my code is not being called, which explains a lot. Now the question is, do I re-enable the send message? Well, here's what I'm going to do, I think. I think I'm gonna have to get away from doing this. So, all right, I'm just gonna have to start using regular, use the email path and stuff. Now the trick with that is, hold on. Look at my email module again. Yeah, auth equals plain auth. So. SMTP. Okay. Email disabled. All right. So now. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is here, basically, if it'll pretend that the email worked if there's no SMTP configuration. Okay, so now I did the thing again. SMTP configuration missing, email disabled. Cool. So now, if I do this, get rid of that plus sign because that's bogus. Doing stuff. A bunch of stuff. Not sure what all happened there. Interesting. All right. Okay, so we're trying to save, which checks out, right? Go routine stack exceeds. Oh, we had a stack overflow. All right. What? How did I generate a stack overflow? What have I done? Oh, I know what I've done. I know precisely what I've done. Okay, that checks out. So we can't do that. The reason is there's a circular reference in there that I didn't think about. If you look at the definition for the session object, the session object points back to the user. The user has sessions in it, so you can see how this could go wrong, right? Yeah, it's an issue. Okay, so the trick is we can't print that out, but it does exist. All right, let's get rid of our Stack Overflow. Do the login. Do we get another Stack Overflow? Oh, are you trying to print out the user again somewhere else? Maybe. I guess the next trick would be I should fix the root cause, I guess. Yep, it's doing it again. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. I fortunately have read about this. So there's a way to change the debug representation, the string representation for a golang for a struct. Let's see here. So let's see. Derive debug. Wait. Is this golang or is this Rust? What language is this? That's Rust. Hey man, thanks for coming out, dude. Appreciate it, especially since it was a unplanned detour. So have a good one, man. Let's see here. In fact, I'm probably gonna go out of here pretty soon too. So. All right, let's see. I think we're going to call it quits for the night, too. It's a good day. It's a good time to stop. I'm going to go get a drink and stuff. So hopefully this was some useful stuff. I'll be working on Mongo, and then maybe I'll do another bonus episode. We'll see.